Dr. Kiki Ramsey show. I am so excited to be here today. I'm already so giddy in the background talking to today's guest. We are going to be talking all about breaking barriers to better health. And I have no other than Ron Sutton, who's going to be sharing all of the deets with us on how to break those barriers. We're going to get into it, y'all, right after this. Okay, maybe not right after this. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Kiki. How are you doing?
I'm so good. Welcome to the Dr. Kiki Ramsey show.
Thank you for the invitation. I've been wanting to get on your show, but thank you for just inviting me out the blue and making my dream come true. I appreciate
Oh, don't make me blush. No, I'm
it.
so excited. I'm so excited that you're here because we are not just friends, but we're also family. And so I'm so excited for our guests to get to know you. So before we jump all in, I want you to share with us your biggest superpower. See, as a positive psychologist, I believe that we all have strengths. I call them superpowers. And so, why don't you share what your biggest superpower is for us?
That is a great question. My biggest superpower will be being able to relate and being creative. Those are my two
Ooh,
superpowers. Not just one. I have two.
listen. Two is allowed. Two is allowed. I love that creativity. I used to. What's so interesting is that I used to think that I wasn't a creative person. Um, but I think we tell ourselves things a lot based on just other experiences that we've had in our life. And so I love that your superpower is creativity because I do think that they'll take you a long way. So
It has taken me pretty far so far with my business and things. But I'll let you roll all into that
well
unless you want me to.
let's roll into it. Why don't you
Okay.
tell the Kiki Ram fam about who you are so that they can get to know you a little bit better before we jump into like the beat of the interview.
Okay. Well, my name is Ron Sutton. I'm a graduate from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga with an exercise science degree. I have my own personal training business. It's called Drip Royalty Fitness. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and a personal trainer. And also, if you check out the background, I'm also a school teacher as well. So I'm a jack of all trades.
But listen, that school teacher, whew, Lord have mercy. These
Well, as you
kids,
see, I lost a couple of hairs, so it's stressful.
I listen. I'm a school teacher, but I teach college students, and sometimes I think they're as worse, but they are never as worse as younger people. But you teach in high school, right?
No, middle school, middle school.
Middle school, okay, middle school. Nope.
That's a little bit tougher, but you get that stage where they like to joke and they're figuring out themselves. So that's the stage where you can nurture and also help them see who they really can be.
This is true. I know it, but I also think that it definitely does take a person like yourself who is dedicated and really loves kids in that way to be able to bring out the best in them. I have little kids, but I don't want to teach. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Teaching is not
So
for the faint.
it's not for the faint of heart. I get it, but we do need it. We need it so bad. So can you start by telling us a bit about your personal health and your journey? Because here's the thing. We're talking all about breaking barriers to better health. You are going to be one of my guest speakers at the Thrive 25 Women's Conference.
Woo!
I'm so excited. And I want to know about your personal journey. I do know a little bit, and every time I talk to my sister, she tells me you're always in the gym. So, um, but I know you didn't start there. So I'd love to know what led you to become a personal trainer and a wellness coach, and a little bit about your journey.
That's a great question. My journey started, it clicked when I was about 8. Short story, but long story. My mom passed away when I was 8 due to breast cancer. So I was
Mm,
able to see a lot of health things by going to the doctor and things with her. So being able to help her with her medicine and her routine and staying healthy and active, that kind of led me into wanting to help others become healthy, but not just others, more specific women. Just
mm,
because I know as a son and as a male, you have that bond with your mom that you cannot break. So being
yes.
able to see her go through the things that she went through made me understand that health is valuable, no matter what stage of life that you're in, and you have to own your health. Not saying that she didn't because it was a diagnosis of cancer, but there's different things that we can do to prolong our lives. And so once I lost her, that helped me as a young child start looking into science and health. And then back to my introduction, went to University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, studied there, and I found a love for helping people get in shape. Started
Mm,
off at age of 19. I was offered my first boot camp class at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had only maybe 40 people in the beginning, and then after about a year, I had the whole gym rocked out. So I found my
wow.
passion because I didn't have to set my alarm. So most of the time you have to set your alarm to get up, but my
Yep.
body would automatically wake up at 4 o'clock, and I'd be excited to see all the faces. So that is how my journey started. I've been
Wow.
doing fitness for about 18 years. And one side note that really drove my passion was when I ruptured my Achilles tendon. Back when I was 27, I was doing CrossFit workouts, working out really hard, and I stretched, but I didn't stretch all the way through like I thought I did, and I popped my Achilles. And when I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, that made me realize that it's only me that can do the rehab. So I had to
Mm,
rechange my dieting because I gained weight because I only had 1 foot. So I had to really look at my why and look at my degree because I was paying Sally Mae, still paying Sally Mae. So how can I still, how can I put this degree to work and make a living with this and be happy all at the same time? So I know I said a lot, but that is
yeah.
what led me towards my passion.
Wow. Thank you for that. I mean, you know, I've lost my mom, but I didn't lose her at a young age, right? But just to think how our purposes are born in this world, right? Like you took what was a painful situation and turned into something that's so beautiful, in terms of you giving back and helping people with their health. And you said that you started off at 5 o'clock in the morning with only 40 people. 40 people, a lot of people, right? Like that means that you started out the gate to me rocking it out because I know how hard it is to get people excited. How do you think you were able to get people so excited about working out? Because I know half the people I know hate the gym.
It's tough to get people to work out. What I was able to do, I used my skill set with listening. Dealing with 40 different people and different goals, you have to be able to listen and be creative because each class cannot be the same. Everybody
Yeah.
does like certain moves and they like certain songs, but you have to bring the flavor. So when I mean
Yeah.
flavor, you have to bring your style, creativity. You have to bring new dance moves, new step moves, something that is out the norm. You have to just
Mm.
try it out. If it fails, it fails. But at the end of the day, they love the creativity and the energy. Now, getting up at 4:30 and 4 o'clock, I don't know how I did it with the energy, but when the lights hit, it was time to go. So I couldn't fake the funk like I was tired because if I was tired, they was gonna be tired. So
Mm.
just being
True.
able to help them see if you're here at 5 o'clock or 4:45, you're here for a reason, and let's stick to it and make that goal a reality.
Wow. No, I think I definitely agree it's true. I love working out in the morning time. I did go to the gym today. This has been a crazy week, so I've been slacking. But today, because I knew I was gonna be talking to you.
Hey, there we go. You had me in your back of
That's
your head. You better get up that Peloton.
exactly. I was like, let me work out today. But I love working out in the morning time, but you work out all the time, right? Like So what's your preference and what do you think is best for people?
That's a tough question because yes, I try to work out all the time. I work out, I train before school, I train athletes at school, and I train people after school. So my workouts, I stretch majority of the day. That's how I'm
Mm,
still being able to be flexible and do certain things. But the best time is when you can find an hour of peace.
mm,
Like for instance, you said you like to work out in the morning. I would love to work out in the morning, but I'm more of a night owl. So I love to work out from maybe 10 to 12 because one, there's nobody in the gym that late. I don't have to fight for my machine. And then two, I can take my time and release my mind after a long day because being a personal trainer and a strength and conditioning coach, I'm absorbing so much energy.
right.
I'm
Yes.
absorbing different thoughts, different ideas. So in order to have my me time and my mental health to be strong and my physical health, I have to make time. So some days it might be 10 o'clock if I get done early. And some days I don't want to go, but I find a way to just to do something,
Yeah.
so that way I can stay consistent. So
Yeah.
um, to answer your question, if I didn't, is just staying consistent. So if
Yeah.
you want to get up at 5 and you can't get up at 5 that day, don't get upset throughout the day. Find a break. And so if your lunch break, if you got an hour, go walking, eat your lunch for 30 minutes, and then take the other 30 minutes and go walk, or just
Yeah.
walk the whole 30 minutes, and then
Yeah.
just don't eat because sometimes we try to calculate calories and time and all that, and we just lose our way. And that's
Mm,
something that's
yeah.
very hard to maintain when you're doing fitness is staying consistent.
Yeah. As you talked about consistency, I know that that's always a hard thing for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people always do a bunch of start, stop, that kind of thing. And my goal is just to never stop, even if I might take a couple days off, then, uh, still get back on there. Don't let 2, 3, 4 weeks go by before you like start over because then you're like, oh my God, I'm starting all over again and my body is sore and I hurt. you know.
And you're starting all the way over. Your body's like, what just happened? Why are you doing this to me again? And then when you get that soreness again, it's like, you know what? I'm done because you done made it past that. Now you're here again. But to answer that question or piggyback off that, pain is not for forever. And so
Mm,
when you go work out, you can't dwell in the soreness.
yeah.
You can't dwell in your problems every day because you're not gonna get anything done. So that soreness is telling you that you need to do more. It's not
Yeah.
the opposite.
Oh,
So
okay.
in order to get out of that pain, so for instance, if you did leg day, squats, all right. So if you're trying to build those thighs, it's going to hurt going up the steps. But that is a hurt to let you know that, hey, my body is alive. I just need to
Mm.
stretch. And stretching is something that we are not doing enough of.
Oh,
So those things help with blood circulation. So don't think when you go work out that you're sore that you overdid it. Sometimes you might have, but that's not always the case. The case is just get
okay.
up, move, and that you're alive. Because if you're not
Yeah.
sore, you probably didn't do something right. And not
Yeah.
looking for a soreness to tell you that you did something right, but exercise is all about form. So a lot of times when you go to the gym, and I see this at the gym a lot, and I have to help people sometimes, it's like, hey, you're not doing that right. And a lot of
Uh,
times when you go to the gym, you're seeing other people do other exercises. So we try to imitate them, and that's not always the best thing.
ah, yeah. We can get to a whole conversation about like personal training and stuff like that. But before we, make it even there, you mentioned something earlier about like, your mind and, body and stuff like that. And we do know that when it comes to getting healthy, it's not just about working out. It has other components as well, like eating healthy, your mind and all that kind of stuff. And so what I would love to know is like, what do you think? How do mental or emotional blocks like self-doubt, past trauma, um, any of those impact our health goals?
It impacts our vision, and our vision, which is
Mm,
how we see ourselves, which allows us to see how we can accomplish our goals.
Mm,
So with our past trauma or our past events or that day that's going bad, that can really be a hindrance to our mental health because we get so bogged up in the fog of everything that's going on mentally that we
yeah.
forget to take care of ourselves emotionally. So one thing that I always try to get my clients or my athletes to always look at, I know we always say mind, body, soul, but I always
Hmm.
say soul, mind, body because
Hmm.
your soul, mind, and your body, you can't have a mind without a soul, and your mind can't control anything if you don't have a body. So if you actually change that and you look at why you are doing the exercises, why you're eating healthy, what is the why? Just like I ask
Mm.
my students in math class, what is the why? Okay, you want to learn how
Yeah.
to count money, so you got to learn how to do math. So you want to look good for a vacation, or you want to look good all year round. What is your lifestyle? Why
Yeah.
does this lifestyle have to change? And that is the biggest trouble that a lot of people run into is lifestyle change. We want it in 3 months, but it doesn't take 3 months. It takes a little bit longer.
you see, you see my face. I want it in 2 weeks. I don't know about 3 months.
Hey, sometimes I want it in 2 weeks too. I'm like, where this little ab at? Where it go? But sometimes it's like when you don't see your results, it's delayed results, and that's the
Yeah.
difference in the world that we live in with
Yeah.
fitness. Fitness is more delayed, and now we're living in a world that's more instantaneous, and so we get caught up in the fad diets and
Yeah.
things that's not working for us because not every diet is for our body type.
No. You know, I'm one of those people who I'll try anything for the most part. Like trying to, figure out what's gonna work. But I get discouraged because of course for anything to work, like you just said, it takes time for you to then see the results. And by that time, I'd have moved on to the next thing because I figured this thing right here don't work, right? So
Exactly.
how do you how do you really figure out like for yourself what works? So what's the best way to go about what works for you as a person in terms of your overall health?
Mm. Being able to accept your own failure.
Ooh,
And the
okay.
reason why I say accept your own failure because a lot of times when you're in the gym, the weights don't lie. So if you go in there
True.
and you pick up from a guy's perspective, if you're trying to get really nice chest and things of that nature, you go put 225 on there and you can't lift it. It's a reality check. So sometimes for guys, it crushes the ego. And then
Mm,
sometimes for women, it's not the ego, it's the motivation. Sometimes I'll say this carefully, but it's the comparison. Um, why is she like this and I'm not like that, or why
yeah.
is she doing that workout and I've been doing that same workout and I'm not getting that same result.
Mm,
So that's why I run in more with my women clients is the comparison of another person versus with guys I come into more of the ego.
ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I know I do that sometimes because I've been trying to get a flat stomach for 35,000 years. Um,
How long, Kiki? 35,000 years.
35,000 years.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old. I'm old. I'm old. So, and so then I'll see this other woman. I'll be like, how she get that? But I know part of it, maybe discipline. Talk to me about discipline.
Ooh, discipline. Discipline is tough. Discipline is when you have to hold yourself accountable when nobody else is looking. I'm talking about when
Woo!
you want that. When you want that, think about it. We just had a Memorial Day weekend. So me and your sister, we went to a cookout. I'm not gonna lie. They had ribs. I stayed away from the pork ribs, but they had fried fish. They had corn. They had turkey barbecue. I'm talking about. I had about 3 or 4 plates. But I had to go back the next day, or that same day, and go walking on a treadmill. Now, one thing that I always tell people to kind of offset if you know that you're going to eat bad that day. Because on Saturdays, I run a boot camp. And so that same Saturday, I had more people inside my class than usual because they all knew that they was going to eat pound cake, they was going to eat real bad. So when I know that you're coming, I'm going to give you a harder workout, which is going to burn the extra calories. So say my normal workouts, you're going to burn anywhere from 500 to 800 calories within an hour or more.
Oh wow.
So within that hour, and if I set it up correctly and you follow everything, you should be able to get almost 1400 because that 1400 calories, so it's 3500 calories in a pound. So that 1400 is going to offset so that way just in case you overeat or overindulge in your favorite food, it's not going to be so bad. So you have to stay disciplined to your routine,
Yeah.
your eating, and also you have to stay disciplined to your social life. A lot of times, social life is a lot of things that drive people out of the gym because when that's
Mm.
nothing wrong with drinking or going out to eat with your friends, but sometimes you overindulge that night, so you don't go work out at your regular routine. So now you're 2 days behind, 3 days behind because you got to recover. So
Yeah.
certain things that we do affects our discipline, and then our mindset is really the key part of our discipline. It's like you said earlier, our vision is how we see ourselves. So if you're trying to create a new vision or a new discipline, you got to throw your old eyes away and write everything down new that you want to do and set a plan step by step.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think that having that discipline and just having a routine is has been helpful for me to do, even though sometimes like the discipline goes out the door because the routine goes out the door, right? But I think the my hardest thing for me to learn how to do is eat better and discipline myself in that area, right? Like I can work out, I can do all the things, right? But tell us about the ratio of eating versus working out because that's where I really have a problem at is the eating part.
It's more of a balance. It's more of a balance. So kind of like I was saying earlier, it's 3,500 calories in a pound, right?
Mm,
So
I did not
if
know
I'm
that.
doing, okay, well, if you did not know that, now you know, and if you're
Yep.
listening, now you know how many calories you got to lose to get just 1 pound off. Okay,
I did
so
not know that.
so
This I'm today years old with that. I love that.
so now, since you know there's just 3,500 calories in a pound, you have to cater your diet towards that. So,
Mm,
for instance, since there's 35, so you can easily take 500 calories off your diet. Okay, so if you do that, that's a great start because how many? So there's what 7 days in a week, right? So
uh-huh.
7 times 500 is what?
Listen,
3,500, right?
I am not the no. You the math
You,
teacher.
I'm the math teacher, right? But there you go. So that's the simple math right there, and how you can lose a pound a week or get there occasionally and gracefully. Because a lot of times we try to rush that 1 pound off or that 5 pounds off within two
Mm,
weeks, and sometimes we're not meeting the caloric deficit that we need to have
uh,
because the caloric deficit can hurt us because if you're not eating enough calories, your body is going to store. So think about this. This is an analogy I use for everybody. If you're trying to go from Atlanta to California, you can't make it on one tank of gas,
mm-mm,
right? You
mm-mm.
have to stop and refuel and you have to rest.
Yep.
Same way how you travel is the same way how you need to treat your body. You got to refuel. You got to pit stop. You need to check the map, check your engine oil, make sure everything is okay, make sure your mental, your body, no aches and pains, and then scale occasionally and scale according to what you're trying to get to that day.
Mm.
Because a lot of times for me, like today is Thursday, that's my ab day. So I do nothing but abs on
Uh,
that day because that's what I need to focus on. Because by Thursday, I know I done cheated a couple of times throughout the week working in the school system.
uh,
Kids bring you donuts and things trying to get better grades. So of course I'm gonna eat it.
I like
But I
them.
have to have
Yes.
the
Better
but I
grade.
have to have that same discipline of, hey, you know what? Y'all brought me these donuts. Let's do 35 sit-ups as a class. So I
Ooh,
teach them maintenance as well, which helps them see the whole reality of numbers and your body, so that way they can see how everything works together.
I love that. No, like them kids bringing donuts, trying to get a. I need an A, at least a B.
I might, you
Like,
might, you might, if you bring me, if any of my kids hear this, I'm a big sucker for strawberry donuts and with sprinkles on top. That's
oh
my favorite. So if
Lord,
you bring me those, you're gonna get an A all week.
oh Lord. Oh my God. Today is my kids, Mackenzie and Walter's last day of school, and whew, I am ready for the summertime. And I'm sure you are as well. So we are coming towards the end of our show, but I do want you to share what are some practical ways that people can start to shift from some unhealthy habits to ones that support better habits, more, better well-being. What are just a couple ways that people can start to shift from unhealthy to better?
The first thing is be honest with yourself. You
Mm,
have to answer your questions honestly. You cannot think about what this person might think about you doing this, or your mom or your dad. You have to be able to be honest with yourself and be honest with your sacrifices.
yeah.
Um, we try to sacrifice so much so quick, and we fall off the train, and that just doesn't apply to fitness, that applies to life in general.
Mm,
And then one thing that I would say that really is a pace.
ah,
Find a
okay.
pace that works for you. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, let's be realistic. Let's look at maybe, hey, let's cut that to 5 pounds within 4 months. Give
Mm,
yourself some grace, because life be lifing, as we know. So you never know
yeah.
what happens. You might have to take an unexpected trip, or you might have to restart. So that grace and that time and that mindset are the
Yeah.
key things that you got to put in order before you do anything with your health.
I love that. I mean, I think that we don't know how much mindset and how much just giving ourselves a beat and loving on ourselves plays a part in life in general. I think we just want to skip over the whole mindset piece and get to the business, right? Like we just
Yes.
like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I tell me how to lose 5 pounds, right? Um,
Yes.
but I'm never going to lose 5 pounds if I can't get past my own negative thinking and stuff like that. So I think that that is so good. And it's a reminder for us all, right, to be able to give ourselves that little grace and mercy. So, how do you help clients stay motivated when life gets busy and progress does feel slow? When life be lifing
That is a.
and
I'm glad you asked that question, because I had. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but I had a client. He told me to shut up. Well, there was a explicit word before up, but he was like, he was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I was like, no, if I'm not getting cussed out, I'm not doing my job right. That's how I
okay.
gauge if I'm doing a good job. But he was like, I never had anybody as a personal trainer to make me talk positive to myself. A
Mm,
lot of times when we're in the gym and things of that nature, we start talking negative to ourselves.
yeah.
And I kind of noticed that about myself. I would say things that was incorrect, and I'd be like, "Why are you saying that to yourself? That's not helping you."
Mm,
And so when I took a step back and I looked at myself, kind of like talking to you a little bit more, Kiki, the whole positive self-talk thing,
mhm.
that helped me realign how I talk to my clients and how I look at their situations and try to find the positive situations in it,
Mhm.
the positive aspects, and that allows everybody to stay motivated in the full circle,
Yeah.
because they tend to be like, for instance, my guy, I love him to death. He was like, Ron, I had, usually I go to McDonald's, I have a Big Mac and I have a 20 piece, but
Oh,
you should be so proud of me because I only had a double cheeseburger and 4 chicken strips. And I said, you know what? I am
okay.
proud of you. I am
Okay.
proud of you. But
Progress.
this is what we're gonna do to get all that out of you. We're gonna do some extra sit-ups. Now that's when the positive talk come in because he was like, now you know I just ate all that cheeseburger and all that. Now how I'm gonna do it? So we created increments. We made a game, and we made it like every time you don't do one, every time you don't make the goal within this round, that is an extra week of spending 30 minutes in a sauna.
Hmm.
And he likes that, but what I'm helping him understand is if you're not doing this, you can't do this. So
Yeah.
being able to take away something and also use it as a tool to get better, that's how I'm able to help people become positive and
I
stay
love
consistent.
that. Yeah, I mean, so that's progress because listen, we got to start somewhere, right? And
Hmm.
I mean, nobody has any room to be judgy, right? Because we
Right.
all got something that we do, we like, we don't necessarily want to give up. I mean, for me, it's chocolate chip cookies at night, you know, the ones
You
that
can
I
still
bake.
now you can take your cookie and
Hmm.
break it in fours and just eat one piece of that cookie, and then you can just wing yourself off that.
So
That's a step.
I would have to go down from four cookies because I eat four.
Four, four cookies.
I eat
Now I'm gonna ask
four.
you, the four cookies now are they hot or are they cold?
Hot with milk.
Well, let's do two. Let's
Okay.
start with half,
Okay.
and that's a way that you can be like, once I get done with this two, and once I drink all my milk, I'm done.
I'm done. And I gotta
And when
tell myself that.
you gotta
Or
tell yourself,
I'm also gonna cook only that because we have to cook them, right? Like I have to cook them.
okay,
So,
and cook only two, and then put on the note on the freezer, only take two cookies out, Kiki.
true, true.
Because if you don't do that, you're gonna be like, you know what? I had a bad day. I deserve a cookie. You deserve a cookie. You deserve two, not three, not four. Just two.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I got a plan. I got a plan because I'm like, but I like your mindset because here's the thing. I think that is so hard to cut everything cold turkey all together, like just do everything. We cutting everything out. I think that's when most people end up failing is that we don't do things in moderation. We try to take it all away. And then we might do it for a little while, but it doesn't last.
It doesn't last. You get tired. You get burnt out, and then you feel like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Nothing gets accomplished. Your emotions go from here to here.
Lord. Okay, so we have come to the end. Now, listen, you are one of our speakers at the Thrive 25 Women's Conference. I'm so excited you're going to be there. I know that you're going to drop so many more nuggets. This was just a little taste of what is to come. Can you share with everybody why you're excited about coming to the Thrive 25 conference and what you plan to share at that conference?
Yes, I've always wanted to do a conference, but I never knew how to put it together. So I'm excited. Beyond what you can even see on my face, I'm dancing on the inside.
I
I've been
love
looking at suits, trying to make sure I get the right suit, trying to make sure I'm just ready to go.
that.
But the real reason is because I get to talk to a bunch of individual women who have a goal and they're either starting or trying to turn the corner or just lost. So I'm able to be a guide to help them see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel
Yeah.
and you have to be patient with yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I think we need that message so much, and a lot of love and care. And I do think women also need some personal attention sometimes. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be women that are there who will be able to come up to you and share their personal stuff, so that you can kind of give them guidance. And so I'm really excited about that for the women who plan to attend. So thank you so much, for saying yes, to me and the conference. I'm so excited about that. Can you share with everybody before we hop off, where they can
Yes.
find you at and what's going on with you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Fit by Drip, and Fit by Drip is FITBYDRIPP. So two P's at the end. You can find me on Instagram. You can DM me there. What's going on with me here in Charlotte? I am getting ready to train some athletes here in Charlotte for their sports, for football and for softball. And then I'm getting ready to launch a women's boot camp as well here in Charlotte. And then I'm also getting ready to do a Sunday fun day during the summer, so that way you can get one free workout before you go drink those mimosas and eat all bad.
Right? Margin. So I
Yes,
love that.
margin.
So, so if you all are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, check out Ron Fit by Drip on IG, where you can find out all the information about his boot camp that's coming up and his Fun Day Sunday. If I was there, I'd be in the house, but we live a little ways apart. But we are going to be getting together on the 4th of July and running this
And
10K
we gonna hit them
together.
dance moves.
You know, so we're going to have a good old time. So thank you so much for being with me today. Are there any final words you want to share with the Dr. Kiki fam today?
Give yourself grace and keep smiling when you can't smile.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are listening to the sound of my voice, I invite you to go on and register for the Thrive 25 Women's Conference. It is going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia on July the 12th and the 13th. It's going to be amazing. It is for women who want to level up in their career and their business, discover their purpose, and make money while doing it. I cannot wait to see y'all at the conference. All right, y'all. Y'all know that you have the ability to create your own happiness. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace.